All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:30. Hey, we made it on time to start the new quarter, the new month. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's 6:30 Club. I've been doing the 6:30 Club since the market fell out of bed in 2020 when the pandemic took hold and people thought the world would end. Everybody wanted to liquidate everything they owned. And guess what? Red Dog kept them involved. I've lived through the tech bubble bursting in 2000, the financial crisis. I've seen that long-term the bull market wins. You want to put your monthly flows in. But if you do trade for a living, you better have a process and a plan. You better be right more than you're wrong. You better be having your mind right so you can sit in your seat and execute on strategies that you know and your edge that you've built. And, you got to do it pretty well because it's definitely tricky out there. Last quarter was a pretty tough one. A lot of people thought the market was going to take off. The administration was going to be pro-growth. And then it turned out that they wanted to rein in spending. They wanted to cut government agencies and bring rates lower. And all of a sudden, the PE had to come down and they took a lot out of the market. So now the question is, what's next this quarter? We shall see. Multiple plans, my dogs. The best thing about a new month and a new quarter is that you could do it all over again and you could try and do it better. If you look here at the chart, you will see that yesterday we did have a bit of a red dog reversal. It was a great trade. I think a lot of people in the alpha team did really well. Redler All Access did really well. We came in long some SPY puts, long, short the semis, short NVIDIA, short a bunch of things. And within the first 20 minutes, went from being net short to net long. And all of a sudden, we reclaimed 549.68. You had your low, your new point of reference, and you had a nice move. So it took back 555 to give you 560. So there were multiple parts of the move. So what part did you do? If you came in and you pressed, thinking we were going to fall apart on the fourth down day, then not the smartest move, not the smartest thing to do. But anyway, with that being said, the SPYs are down 3, which isn't the end of the world after the size of the move yesterday. I did take home very small risk. What I do with the red dog reversals, I get big into the inflection points, and then I piece out of it, and I stay with a little bit just in case there's follow through. And as of right now, down 3 is okay. If you go to the SPYs, okay, you go to yesterday's chart, you would think, on the intraday, let's get rid of this. Let's see, how do I delete sector line? I would think, if this, if the market's going to be any good, it really shouldn't get too far below, this 556 area. This is where it took off from at 2 o'clock. This is where, you had the pension rebuy come in. And this should be buyable. If it starts getting below this, chances are it's going to start getting real sloppy, and you just want to be a little bit more careful. Some people are like, hey, Red Dog, what do you think? You've been doing this for a long time. Is this 546 the low of 2025? I'm like, let's not worry about that yet. Let's just worry or think about where we can go if we get a little bit of follow through tomorrow, and then think about, tariff, April 2nd's tariffs tomorrow. How extreme is he going to be? Is he going to try and lighten up a little bit? Is he going to try and be draconian? How will the market react to it? If we come in a lot today, maybe, it's priced in. If we were rallying, maybe it wasn't. It's just a lot to consider. Whatever you want to do is, you want to have multiple plans. Like I actually just even bought a tiny bit of, the SPYs here just because I didn't take home a lot, and I do think we kind of hold in there. Sometimes you get new monthly flows, you get new quarterly flows. So if that's the case, it could be a little bit of a nice trade here. But if all of a sudden we're down 250 and we go down 7, chances are it's going to get sloppy, and then you just got to be a little bit more careful. As far as the Qs kind of did the same thing. Remember yesterday, I'm like, will we reclaim 466? Will they take the pressure off? Well, they put the low in 457, reclaimed it, and had a little bit of a push. This was yesterday's statement, right? Tech led the market lowers. Qs broke 490. This morning, it's already at 2025 lows. Does that get reclaimed? Watch key names. Potentially you could buy versus a 5, 15, 30-minute low. That was yesterday's plan. And what happened? You had a 5, 15, 30-minute low to trade against. You could have bought more. And yesterday should have been a pretty good day for some of you that tune into the 6:30 Club. I know the Alpha team had a great day. They trade with me all day long. So does Redler All Access. If you didn't, maybe you want to join the Alpha team and Redler All Access, where you can stay all day and not just come watch the 6:30 Club and piece it all together. And if your mind wasn't right, you better subscribe to Red Dog, Mindset. It's very cheap, $10 a month, to do a nice morning workout with me every day. I do it at 5:20 for 20 minutes. We do some lessons on the weekends and trying to, make sure that we're in the right frame of mind so we can execute when something gets reclaimed and you're trying to make sure you're feeling good about it or whatnot. The mega cap tech was not great. I'll be honest with you. Everything came off lows, gave you new points of reference. Amazon gave you 184, kind of reclaimed 189. It's very extended from the 8-day. I think BAML was what's it called, was positive on it. So maybe there's a trade for Amazon to go red to green. Meta, all these things look the same. None of them got to really compelling. Everything made a low in the first 5, 15, 30 minutes, and some better than others and came up. Now the question is, where do they hold and can they push above yesterday's high and give you a little bit more? All in all, very broken trades. So, Meta and Amazon were good, not great. You just had to be patient. A lot of everything looked like that. Apple, if you remember, I said to you guys yesterday, I'm like, Apple's only down $1. If they want to reverse the spies and the Qs, chances are maybe they go with Apple. And they did. It was up 2-3. A lot of people made really good money buying Apple pre-market, at the 6:30 Club. All in all, though, it's still a broken name. It's still not great. They're taking a little bit of the fluff out of Apple this morning just because, again, everything that had a little bit of a buy imbalance, they kind of taken back a little bit. But again, if you bought it when it reclaimed 217, it had quite the move. If you long a little bit small, then that's cool too for this. See if it goes red to green today. Tesla, I traded. Tesla, I made pretty good money with yesterday. I did not take Tesla home. I probably could have, closed okay, but it wasn't that compelling. Right now Tesla's up 6. If you took Tesla home, you know what? You're doing better than if you took the SPYs home and if you took the Qs home. So there you go. Trim some, and see how it goes. There wasn't a lot of talk about X and AI and the merger, and now Elon has not much liability because he's got, it's a different situation. So it's not like he's got to pledge Tesla stock if X got worse or whatever. But anyway, it's up 6. I think the deliveries are coming in soon. But anyway, it's a broken name. The only thing positive about this is that the SPYs and the Qs made new lows yesterday, and Tesla made a higher low. So that's something to hold your hat on a little bit. And now it's opening up, and we'll see if it holds and builds or not. Gold had a crazy first quarter. Congratulations if you're an asset allocator. Congratulations if you've been focusing on gold for the past 10, 20 years. Two of my, guys that I've been spending a lot of time with over the last 20 years have been, I've been buying physical gold every single month for 20 years, and they have a treasure chest the size of Texas. And I said, today might be your day to, put a cute hedge on, or at least, sell some. But it's hard to take it from underneath, the ground and bring it somewhere to sell. But if you're a long GLD, which has been, it's the ETF for gold, and you trade it using the 8-21 day, which is the method I use for any sector at any time. It measures momentum and strength, and you got long here, into this day 4 up, extended from the 8-day. What I would do is I would just trim some, ring the register, Jimmy. Anyway, how crazy is Kramer? Kramer comes out yesterday. I don't know why he does it. He does it to himself. He's like, I don't see one reason to buy the stock market yesterday. And I was like, to my guys, I'm like, I see one reason. We reclaimed 499.68, and you can make some tactical cash flow. That was the reason. Q's reclaimed the prior low. That was the reason. We saw a divergence with a 5-15-30 mil. That's a reason. But anyway, some people are making fun of him, but don't make fun of him. He makes $5 million a year, talking like this on CNBC. That's not going to make you money. It makes him money. What's going to make you money is being able to execute your plan properly. And yesterday, if you came in short and covered in the first 15 minutes and flipped along, you made a hell of a lot of money. But if you sat here at your desk, didn't do your chart work, and you were trying to listen to everyone out there, and you have all this, misinformation, chances are you weren't able to execute. Anyway, going to the super growth names, Palantir, came right into the 100-day. I think I showed you guys this yesterday. My friends were buying at pre-market. They made some good money. There's a little bit of room. I bought Dash yesterday. Dash was good. Dash did not make it down to the lows. I thought it would hold 178, so I bought a little bit down and took it off. I also bought some options, which worked out. It's going to need some time also. I don't think the highs of 215 will be the highs of 2025. Just a matter of, if everything comes in, can't buck the trend so much. But anyway, this was a nice trade. So there was a lot of nice trades. The question is, what's next? A lot of things could happen. So at this point, we have to have multiple plans. I kind of think we're not going to fall apart today. That's why I said I bought a little bit of more SPYs this morning, down 3. I might buy a little Amazon to go red to green. Where's Amazon? What did I say? It's down 49 cents. Hold on a second. I'll put a few bids in here. Anyway, and we'll see how it goes. The beauty, again, the beauty of a new month and a new quarter is that's it. You start fresh. You know how you're going to make changes. You know how you're going to be able to do better if you didn't do the way you thought you should. Is write down what you did wrong. Take accountability. Say, this was my fault. I paid up for things when it was a declining market. I didn't honor my stops. I didn't get up early enough. I wasn't prepared enough. All the things that are in the Achilles heel for traders. So then once you acknowledge the things you did wrong and you're really honest with yourself, then hey, maybe you'll do it better. Maybe you'll hold your winners longer. Maybe you'll use your tier system better. All the things that come together for a trader. Let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world. We got some people tuning in. Let's see. You could be on YouTube and tune in. You could be on Twitter. China deliveries were good for negative Model Y. Okay. Bitcoin's up. Yes, Bitcoin is up. Is there a book mindset? No, but you can go to Red Dog Mindset. And I do try and make sure, kind of like Everyone Who Loves Trading in the Zone by David Douglas. That's a book that I've read twice. Some people read it 8 times. I try and create that atmosphere every single morning before I get here for those that want to tune in. But anyway, you want Dell? I can go over Dell. That SPY chart looks like your H cell setup. Not really. Good morning, Scott. TLT and Apple. Okay. Good morning, 630 Club. Good morning, my friend. Hey, what's up, Jose? What up, Zazaz? Thomas? All right, everyone's getting up. Everyone's optimistic. So, Dell, let's see what Dell looks like. Somebody asked me to look at Dell. Dell's been battered and bruised. Look at that. Below the moving averages. Dell looks just like the SPYs a little bit, Did a little bit of a double bottom, has some room if it wants it. I would have thought Dell could acted better. Dell has a lot to do with cooling of the racks. Plus, I think there's supposed to be some real big upgrade refresh cycle for software that everyone's going to need a new Dell. So, it could be something good for the second quarter. But right now it's not showing any relative strength. It's not showing anything great. XLE, someone asked me, looks good, looks really good. It was up a lot this quarter. I actually just put out a power play about a big call spread to go out 3 months just in case. I really don't know what the narrative is. Just in case this weekly chart of the XLE wants to break out and go. But a lot of people have been saying that for 10 years and it hasn't happened. But now if it does, maybe you could buy like a big call spread for by like a 95 by 105 or a 98 by whatever it is. You have this huge cup and handle pattern. These energy stocks are real cheap. They have dividends, they have buybacks. So if it's going to go, maybe you want to have a call spread on just in case, you don't overly watch it. I don't watch this sector so close. If you're going to trade energy like the XLE, the OIHs, and you're going to, the refiners and it's like a whole big sector. And then you can't be watching FANG, the semis, the super growth names, So if you just want some exposure, just in case, like sometimes I'll buy an ETF with options just to have some exposure because it's not my focus, just in case. So anyway, that's pretty cool. This is what this looks like. Looks pretty good. But anyway, when will it trigger? I don't know. Some people think it's a China play. So we're talking China. Here's Baba, by the way. Baba's been a little bit tricky. I did buy some more calls yesterday. All in all, it's still showing some relative strength. We did play Baba really, really well. from, down here. I rolled up the options like 5 different times. I got a little hurt rolling them up one more time here. Now we'll see. This reclaimed this 131. We'll see if it starts acting better. Last time we tried to break this little mini trend, it pushed through and it failed right here. So we'll see what happens again if it wants to really start acting better. So what was yesterday's low? You want me to put that in there? I'll put that in there. That's 129.10. 129.10. Let's see. So here's 129.10. Let's see. Never got to the 50 days. So Bob, it looks all right. What else? What did people make money on yesterday? You know what? NVIDIA was interesting. NVIDIA, I said yesterday was the key to the day. The key, right? Would it hold 104.77 or not? So what happened was it broke below 104.77. Had no follow through, reclaimed it. Some guys bought versus 104.77 and made some good money. I still have a little bit of NVIDIA overnight. Also, just so you guys know, I remember last week when I bought the SOXS in here, when I was like, the semis are going to lead us lower. They looked crappy as hell. I rolled up some calls, and basically yesterday I sold the SOXS within the first 10 minutes. And look at the size of this move. A big percentage move in options. This right here could have made, your week and your quarter. I'm not saying, it would have. I'm just saying in general, not so bad. So I get out of it. So if this were to pull in at some point, maybe I buy them back. Some guys flipped and went to the SOXL, which was the exact opposite. Did a little bit of a red dog reversal versus the lows. Where could this get to? Yeah, maybe it can get up towards here if we go green today and we get a bit of a push. But all in all, not a bad thread to needle. Short the semis to long the semis, and then also knowing that NVIDIA, was kind of a key to whether or not we could reverse yesterday. That's what I try and go over here with you with the 630 Club. And with the Alpha team, I do it all the time. The Alpha team, I literally spend the entire day on this microphone from 9:15 to 11:30 talking about levels. They get to see how I'm executing. I've already posted 40 charts, but those are the people who trade for a living. Anyway, what is David asking? Let's see. What is David asking? Oh, a lot of people tuning in. What's up, crew? Zillow was good yesterday. I don't really trade that. NMAX, yeah, that was nuts. I don't really trade the nutty ones because that's all you could focus on. Look at the size of that move. Holy cow, who would have thought that would have happened? Geez, Louise. Who's Louise? I don't know, but geez. Let's see, what's it doing this morning? Up another 4. It was at 105. You got to pick and choose your battles. Like, there are some people that just trade the high volume, filter names that pop up at 6 in the morning and they trade it. They don't know it. Look at the chart. For me, I'm a little older. I'm like an old dog. I have 40 names that I look at, I chart, I know what's happening. I know what's strong, what's weak, what's acting well, what's leading. And I put together the whole package. Every now and then I'll trade one of the nutty names, but it's just really not my game. You want me to look at Tesla? Where could Tesla get to? Well, this is, you look at this. I drew this yesterday. It held support. Went as high as what? 260.56. Tesla's giving you a little bit of follow through actually today. Let's go to Tesla real quick. It's up 7. So really 266 is one spot. Like if you bought Tesla in the hole yesterday, I would be trimming some into this 266. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a fade yet. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying this is where you probably want to trim some. And if it does get above this 266, what's this low? Where's the 21-day? This is 271. The 21-day is like, yeah, it could see 269, 270. That would be what would be the easy move. A lot of these things have an easy bounce move that can happen, and then it gets a little tougher. So for now, this would be your easy 266, 269. Same thing. If you say, like, just say even again Amazon, what would be an easy move? Just back towards 190, 188, and then then it gets a little harder. What would be an easy move for Meta? Somewhere within here. So we'll see. What would be like an easy move for the SPYs if the SPYs go green today? Maybe getting through 560, 70, and then 560. The 8-day right here would be a spot where, hey, that could have been your day and a half move if it even wants to see that. So again, you have an easy move and you have a tougher move, and then you have a move that maybe you want to fade or just want to pull back. Please talk gold. I think you guys should be trimming gold today. But again, I'm not going to tell the gold bugs what to do because they'll bug out on me. I will say that this is the furthest it is from the 8th day in a little while. So I would think if you're not in gold, today's not your day to buy it. And if you're in it, maybe today's your day to trim. You know, 1, 2, day 4 up is a day you always want to take some profits, not start a new trade. And even if it goes higher at some point, you have to check yourself. Anyway, Scott, thoughts on shorting Chinese pump and dump, RGC? You know what? I remember when I told you guys, do not buy FTEL. I'm like, it's a scam stock. My friends are short. I don't even know how many shares. You know, and look what happened there, FTEL. Remember this? I kept a lot of people away from this. And went to 50, I can't believe it really went to 57 cents. These guys were so dead on the money. This was a full Chinese scam. They were like, you know, 2 different offices, and they were running these pump and dump schemes, and there's a bunch of them out there. But anyway, just always be careful. Always do your homework. You know, if you want to trade a chart, I get it. But sometimes you have no idea. Like this did look good. Like this, if I didn't know that this was a Chinese scam, when it went again, I would be like, oh, look at this chart above the 821 day. And then boom. So watch out for Chinese scam names. Baidu and Bob are not Chinese scam names, but this FTEL was. So you want me to look at what? RGC? Regional. How do you know this is a Chinese scam name? But anyway, let's see, RGC. I don't know. It looks, again, if I was looking at the chart, it's a big move, came in. You know, it's a Chinese scam name, this DOGZ, I think. That's what my guys were telling me. You know, this DOGZ, you know, is going to probably wind up being a $5 stock. So if you want to look at dogness, you know, take a look at what's going on there. Don't look at the chart. But anyway, that's not my game. You know, I tried being short the FTEL and I lost like 50 grand because I couldn't handle the pain, and I hate not being in control, and it was an expensive borrow, et cetera, et cetera. Not that much, but anyway. With that being said, GRR is supposed to be a scam. Well, it's a good looking chart. It's above all the moving averages, but again, do your homework. Anyway, you know, it's not a scam, but it acts like a scam. Microsoft. No, I'm kidding. Microsoft. What a crazy, you know, weak, out of play, you know, stock this has been. But guess what? You know what you could have seen? Some people are like, what could you have seen with Microsoft? Well, look at this big gap and go to the downside. That was earnings. That told me not to trade Microsoft for the next quarter, and I really haven't. And all it's done is trend lower, made a new low yesterday. Is there a little bit of room? Fine. Google did the same thing. You know, I have a whole big lesson on gaps, you know, what they mean. And when you have a big gap and go to the downside like this had in Google and it doesn't fill it, usually it trades in the same direction of that gap down. And if it gets rejected into the 821 every time, you get away from it. So anyway, I'm starting to babble. All I want to tell you guys is, listen, you know, it's a new quarter. It's a new month. If you get paid monthly and quarterly, you better get up early. You better do your homework, and you better, you know, limit the time you have a TV on. There are definitely some good resources on Twitter, guys that trade for a living, people that have their specialty, whether it's VWAP, whether it's chart patterns, whether it's, you know, all the different, you know, indicators that people use. Figure out what works best for you. What works best for me is having an arsenal of 40 names that I know what leads what, you know, how they're feeling, how they're trading. You know, on days like yesterday, I did simplify it. You know, I said yesterday, you know, what the keys to the day were. You know, today I do think, you know, if we could hold this 555, you know, today, which is right here, which I went over the other chart, you know, maybe there's a way that it takes out 560-ish, and we see a little bit more of a push with the new flows ahead of tomorrow. It doesn't have to happen. If that's going to happen, if that's going to be the case, then you'll see some red to green type trades. You'll see a little bit of a push. But, you know, something like Red Dog, is this a major double bottom with your Red Dog reversal? Are we going back to highs? Listen, earnings season didn't even start yet. I have a feeling earnings season is going to be lukewarm and guidance is not going to be good, depending on where we are. Is it priced or not? I'm not sure. You know, you have an administration that seems like very, very committed to putting these tariffs out there, reducing spending by the government. That means, you know, the GDP that came out was okay, but maybe next quarter is going to be less. So, you know, we're slowing down a bit. So after 2 huge years and only 10.5% off the highs, and the average move off highs in the last 30 is 14, I think there could be more. So Anyway, if you have a 401k, put your money in every month. The bull market will win. If you trade actively for a living, map out levels, have your plan, pay attention, get your mind right, and you can make a living doing this. I've been doing this since 1998. I'm definitely one of the older dogs out there. So experience matters. A lot of you young guys are doing well. Sometimes you're throwing some shit against the wall that I'm like, but that's just throwing this shit against the wall is not going to work forever. You got to really have a plan, and you really have a community that helps, but have your own system and process. All right, good luck, and hopefully April works out for you. And don't get fooled today by any April Fool's jokes. Later, guys.